online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Starladder I-League StarSeries Season 3. I thought we were about to go in, but players have just left the server, so hopefully we'll be going in relatively shortly. Obviously, joining me once again will be Harry, and we are going to go into this one relatively shortly with the knife. Now, we're going on to nuke. We saw Team Spirit take the map pick of HellRaisers. Do you believe they're going to go 2-0, or are you still on the HellRaisers hype?
I mean, if I'm honest with you, from what I've seen of Team Spirit on nuke, they've always looked fairly strong. And, I mean, going into it, right, them picking this against HR, clearly they've got some sort of strategy they want to try and break out. And I think, based on the kind of shots we were seeing them hit in the previous game, I do think there is a serious potential for this to go 2-0 in favor of Team Spirit, despite them coming into this being almost the underdogs. So, yeah, no, I do think it's going to be, all in all, a fairly interesting one to take a look at. HR definitely a team that could pull this back and go through into a third map. You can never discount them or count them out. They have a whole world of experience across the roster. But as we said, I mean, this is one where both teams should have really picked up their map choices, and they didn't. So are we going to see HellRaisers punished for that? Well, only time will tell.
I think the most intriguing thing for me, at least, with HellRaisers was when this map first came out, there were two teams really willing to play it, and that was, at the time, Dignitas, who obviously are now North, who are still very, very good at this map, and HellRaisers. Then we saw the match of, I think it was actually in the last season, like right at the beginning when Nuke was actually in there, and just talking about the idea that it seems like North have just made this their map, whereas HellRaisers never really seemed to have it at the same sort of caliber, at least, of what North were able to achieve. Obviously, now a lot more teams are bringing in MVP, very good at this map as well. Astralis, there isn't really a bad map for Astralis, so that's kind of difficult to actually say. But when you just look at this HellRaisers team, it's definitely a map that they were willing to play and are happy to play. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were pretty good at it. Obviously, in terms of their setups, I don't think they have any problems there. And actually, one of the players who really was able to take this map by storm, at least in the previous season, was Zero. Now, he was supposed to sort of be the star of this team. We didn't see it too much in the last map. Obviously, since then, DevFox has been added and taken that mantle away a little bit. But he was not there in the previous match. So I think win condition for me, at least. Firstly, we got to see DevFox stepping up with that AWP. But I want to see Zero actually playing very well also.
Definitely. And I think equally for Team Spirit, you're going to need to see Davkos step it up a little bit. He used to be the player on the side of Team Spirit everyone used to look to have these huge performances. And I would argue, as of late, we've really seen that kind of be handed over instead to, I would say, Sotfik and Coldy. Dima as well, having some very strong performances every now and again. So, I mean, it is interesting to see kind of how that transition's worked out. There was a stage where Davkos used to have to try and carry these guys throughout kind of all of their games. And since then, they've come a very long way. And Davkos now is kind of the one where you put a bit of a question mark behind it. Can he have these standout performances still? Or, has his time as the shining star in this time somewhat burnt out, and now he's moved on to the kind of little bit more just standard AWP role, maybe less of a carry, just capable of AWPing against opponents, never really going for these insane, sort of kill, I can't think of the word, like kill totals, I suppose, or frags, I don't know. But I don't know if that's something you've noticed as well, Tom.
I think it's a lot more hit and miss than it used to be. Like, now we have to see other players in the team stepping up. I think that's, in a way, it's not the worst thing in the world, because
I think it's a good thing.
If you only have one player stepping up in a team, then you don't really have a team. I think that's something that you have to say. You have a star, and then you have the rest. Now, in these sort of matches, like you said, we have seen, especially for me at least, Sophic in the last map was very, very good. And Cody, on a regular basis, is someone you see as the best player in the server. Like, in a lot, at least in the lower tiers of matches, he's able to dominate. So, if they're just going like that, chugging along, it's fine. And then when Davkos steps up, they're actually a very scary team. It is just normally that LAN performances, that seems to fall flat a little bit. Either way, we're into the pistol. And to start looking like just an outside take, Sophic is gone. He's run outside. He's already getting his kill tally going. He wins the long-range battle versus Sticko with the Glock. And, well, what a ludicrous start.
Yeah, Coldy's going to be here. 3 players about to be peeking out onto him, though, as he's going to discover, trying to rally some shots downwind. But Bondic says no. Going to be able to find that frag. Turning this into a 3-on-4. Still the man advantage though in favor of Team Spirit, thanks to a very strong start from Sophic. This B site just going to crumble around them, and Bomb's going to go down any second now as it does finally reach the site. Rotate already coming on in though, so they've got to be quick. There's Zero and Dead Fox look to try and grab control of ramp. Both going to be coming on in here now. Davkos is positioned close to try and go for the peak, try and find these initial couple of frags. Could catch them off guard. Peak coming out from Dead Fox. They do spot him as he tries to run around to the other side. Quickly realizes his player is either side of him. He's going to be able to get one. Looking for a second. Zero. Quick to trade things out. Going to be a 2-on-3. There's a player going on the long flank as well in the form of Sophic, who's trying to keep his tally up. Wants to try and make it 4. Bondic does find him, but he's got to start running. Zero going to be watching the back. And oh, down he goes. Now it's all on Kabakin. Locked in the 1v1. He's trapped himself in. And oh, Zero. One shot. That's all it took. From Zero to hero in a matter of seconds, going to have the defuse kit, and that will be the defuse coming in for HellRaisers with a couple of seconds left. They pick up the pistol against all odds, despite a very strong start from Sophic. Him going on the flank, losing the players on B, and then having to speed things up, ultimately allowing HR to pick that round up.
Big retake from Zero as well. That's the start we wanted from him. Just absolutely nutty and basically saying, Sophic, anything you can do, I will do one better. Now, this buy coming out from the T side is a risky one. Once again, using the bomb plant money to invest straight into the next round. A lot of pistols in play. Cody going to have that one solitary rifle. Now, I'd actually quite like to see it go to Sophic just because of the way he's been playing today. I know that maybe they consider Cody the best player, but I would have liked to see, okay, if he's just hitting his shots, give it to him, let him have a go. But we'll see what can actually be done. A relatively safe buy coming out from HellRaisers, and rightly so. You don't want to give too many rounds away over on that T side. Although it is much more T-sided than it used to be, it's still a strong CT-sided map overall. We expect to see quite a few rounds over on that CT side. But there's a start, Cody. Only loses 2 HP as well. A nice duel that just goes perfectly in his favor, taking one weapon out of the hands of this CT side. And now we need to see how they're going to react. And, well, it seems like the word of the day is aggression.
Yeah, Stiko and Bondic going to be going aggressive. They find 2 frags, but the trade does come through from Kabakin to equalize things out. Coldy going to be watching the angle as well as things heat up. The push does come in. Deadbox able to find Kabakin over at ramp. Does equalize it out. Back over 2-on-2. Falling from the heaven. It's going to go down as Dead Fox falling to the hand.
What?
Through the hut. There's no stopping this man. As Team Spirit, they managed to find themselves that 4 spy round. They steal the Antico out from underneath HellRaisers. I mean, Sophic is just so confident right now, taking that in his stride. Easy shots with the deagle through a hut, apparently. As now they find themselves at 1-1. 4 spy going to come in from HR. But interestingly enough, it looks like Dead Fox isn't going to, which, you know, you could argue that mentally that's somewhat planning for failure here, but still going to be interested to see if they can make this work. Looking like 3 players already down over towards that ramp. Now going to be pushing towards the B site. Might try making their way up through Secret to try and catch these players off guard towards our side.
Yeah, I could definitely understand his decision just based on a lot of these pistol rounds can come down to a bit of luck. If you just get all the right players in the right position. Have to wonder what Dead Fox was doing in the last round as well. That jump down was a really weird thing to do and just completely... I think it threw him off because he went for a spray and just completely missed. Sophic able to land 2 shots, which shouldn't be happening. We'll see a little bit of damage done, but Sticko's actually going to be taking the brunt of the damage down to 29 HP. Sophic, the man of the hour, is down to 44 as well, but the weaponry is so severely in the advantage of Team Spirit, it would have to be a pretty big mistake for them to lose this round.
I'm going to be trying to go toe-to-toe with Stiko. Is here with the Deagle. Going to be able to find 2 quick frags, but then the trade does come through from Davkos at least. Back into a 3v3. Bomb is dropped, however, over towards ramp. They might have to pick that up and now try and push down in towards this B site. Zero going to be ready and waiting on the cross with the CZ. And Angel just waiting over towards Secret. Should be able to catch Sophic off guard as now he peeks on in. Oh, up close and personal with that 5-7 going to be coming up trumps as he does go down. Mong going to get planted by Kabakin. But Angel and Zero looking to go aggressive and quick in this retake. Bondik rotating on through as well. And Kabakin is able to find Bondik at least. Now it's a 2-on-2. Equalized back out once again. Bomb just going to be planted out in the open. A great place for Davkos to get the jump on these players as they try to make their way on out. And oh, Zero not going to check the angle. He will fall. And now Angel doesn't even know where that shot came from. As Davkos to find 3, get the Oh Baby a triple, and Team Spirit find themselves now with 2 rounds.
Yeah, a little bit too close for comfort, it has to be said. They will look to try and farm up some cash in this round using that MAC-10. Davkos may opt to do the same because he's not going to invest in an AWP in a round where he knows there's nothing on the other side. It's such a risky thing to do if you lose that one AWP and it goes into the hands of the CTs. We know how effective a glass cannon AWP can be. And we're looking just towards a very aggressive push over towards ramp. Once again, Dead Fox is looking to be isolated as he goes down in a matter of seconds. The rotation is going to be coming quickly in from this CT side, but the chance of them doing too much in this scenario is slim to none.
Sophic have the door slammed onto his face, that he still finds the frag. And in the blink of an eye, that round actually the other way, Team Spirit. Davkos with 3 quick frags and Sophic with the other 2. The Mac Daddy is just picking up so many kills there. Going to be farming up a lot of cash over on the side of Team Spirit. The money looking to be in a great place. $7,000 on Kabakin. Almost 7,000 on Sophic as well. It looks like he's going to stick with the Mac-10. Why the hell not? He's been anything but quiet today. And as you can tell, definitely going to be feeling confident now. Dead Fox does have the AWP, and it's going to be taking that towards outside. The push from a lone Sophic towards outside, going to go unnoticed for the time being. That smoke does allow him to cross, but now Dead Fox is going to be posted on up once again. The push out towards A. Kabakin going to go down as he just tries to triumphantly stampede through the smoke. Will be apprehended by Angel. And now the man advantage turned to the side of HellRaisers very early on.
Already actually looking for DevFox outside. He's going to try and use the rafters to his advantage, but it will be DevFox to find Sophic with the AWP. As already said, he was very quiet in the previous map, so they're going to want him to step up with this AWP, especially on that CT side. T side, you can forgive him for not having the best of scenarios, but there's Davkos. Counter AWP, taking him down. Still the man advantage sits with this CT side. Now, you have to remember, Kabakin only had a MAC-10, so he was just going for a sort of silly, aggressive play. Coldy, is he going to be handed a kill? Yes, he is. Angel won't spot him out. Continues to try it and find out information, push further outside, and in fact, may have cost them, as now they have to try and fight this evenly and without a huge amount of utility and no kits.
Dima and Davkos both making their way in over towards Squeaky, and actually the timing's going to be, could not be worse as they just thread the eye of the needle here, making their way on through. Coldy going to find one though quickly. And that is going to be the man advantage returned back to Team Spirit. Bomb's going to go down, but quickly Davkos will fall. Team is going to have the plant tonight. Now there's only 20 seconds left, and Coldy won't be able to clutch that out. Zero does find himself a second. They save an AWP as well. And that's going to be thrown over to Dead Fox. Going to utilize that towards outside once again. Currently not really having too much of a performance, but thanks to his teammates in that round, will still have an AWP to play around with, despite the rather weakened economy over on the CT side. Team Spirit, no issue to buy down once again. Davkos still going to have the AWP in hand, but this will be their last round unless they, their last buy round unless they pick this up. And already 3 players looking to go fairly aggressively over here towards A.
Molotovs are going to be thrown out to deny any sort of early aggression from the T side. They're just going to have to slow things down. There is a push from Sophic in an attempt to take outside. Now, there is the cross being held by DevFox with the AWP. Looking to try and stop any such push, but already Sophic able to get into Secret, just going to be pushing down, and this is going to have to force some sort of rotation from the CT side, as they can't just leave all of their players above anymore. The only player actually anywhere near that B site whatsoever is going to be Zero, trying to hold over towards ramp.
Yeah, Dima and Davkos trying to make something happen towards Squeaky once again. Bondik and Stiko going to be going aggressive in through the hut. And Zero, that ramp will be facing off against Kabakin for the time being. Now, Dead Fox has rotated around, but that has allowed Sophic to make his way towards Secret and just hold this angle, wait and see if any aggression comes out. Currently, they're poised so that they could very quickly grab outside control, try wrap round towards A, or duck down through ramp or Secret. try and split out on towards B. Now, with 3 players over at high, it does look like it's going to be A on their minds. Kabaka to find the entry. Now, Dead Fox rotates up from B ramp. That's the benefit of having him here. Very quick on the rotate as they do reinforce this site. Angel able to find one Stico as well, but it's Dima to get that. Sorry, Davkos to get the return. Dima as well going to be rejoining and making their way down towards this B site now, but they got to watch out because Zero is hot on their heels coming in mine. Davkos with the no scope, doesn't even need the scope, finds himself a second now. Bomb's going to get planted. Stico and Angel to try and retake this as they do come on in from ramp, just very aggressive. Don't want to give Team Spirit time to set up, time to work that timer down. And already Davkos going to get spotted out in the open. He will fall. Demon now finds himself 1v2. He's going to be tagged down low, peeks out wide, but Angel finds the frag. 3 kills for him, and that's going to be HellRaisers to pick up their 3rd equalizing round.
Yeah, nice retake from the CTs. The T's getting slightly bogged down or trying to push onto that A site. It was a nice read from Davkos to actually catch the player through vent, but after that sort of position, they didn't really have any sort of crossfire to stop a push from ramp. And well, after that, they just gave away the round. Still going to be able to buy back up. No armor for Davkos this time on the AWP. But they're looking to try and just break this CT economy. They've been bringing it so close in the last couple of rounds. Both times, only 2 players surviving, so no money actually being saved up at all from HellRaisers. And they really need to get at least a clean round or so. If they win this one, however, it is going to become a lot more difficult, and a nice start. Already a lot of damage done as they lose Davkos and half of Sotfik.
And you're watching outside, we'll be able to find Coldy as well. Suddenly a very triumphant early man advantage courtesy of Angel, who's just locking down outside. Sotfik doesn't even dare go for the peak to try and find this trade. Instead, Kabakan facing up against Zero once again over towards ramp, almost seeming like the bane of his existence for the time being over towards his ramp area. Will just have to fall on back as he gets tagged down just a little bit. Now looking to peek out wide, but Davkos is here with the crossfire set up between him and Zero. This peek going to be devastating unless Kabakan can land this shot. Does spot out Davkos. Zero comes in with the peek, but it's going to fall as Kabakan. A nice quick flick to try and pull back the man advantage that little bit. Now he goes out for the peek. First man out. B hops across like a speed demon. It's going to fall at the hand of Davkos, but Sotfik there to return. Now putting it into a 2-on-3. They will be doubling on back over towards this A site, but only 40 seconds left. Bomb making its way on through now over towards Hut. Demon out through Squeaky. They're not going to be in a great position to try and trade anything out, especially seeing as Angel takes that early frag. Now it's all on Sotfik with the AWP in hand. 1v3. And I imagine we're just going to see a save come in.
Maybe not. Just tries to push back in, dies, and that's going to be a round on the board for the CT side. And finally, they should be having a little bit of a break, as the T's really don't have too much to invest into this. Just a few pistols to try and do extra damage. They will get themselves 2,900 going into the next round, so they can afford to buy down just below that sort of 2k marker and be able to buy comfortably. This will be great as well for the CT side, although they still lose a couple of players in the last, so this one they're going to want to keep as clean as possible. Deadfox with the AWP, this time going to go for the much more aggressive angle, lining them up and knocking them down. Push from Coldy will be able to get one back at least, but there shouldn't be too much available for the remaining players. Only Coldy with the Deeg. And, well, if he even gets a kill here, I'll be quite surprised.
Deadfox there unfaltered as he holds off against the brunt of Team Spirit players towards that side. We'll be locking that round down, and right now the AWP on Deadfox looking to be fairly pivotal to holding the outside area, although we have seen Angel rotate in and actually do a lot of work there as well, just switching those two players up. Usually we see they've just been very, very fluid with it. Either Deadfox goes up in towards heaven, watches the crosshead, and they actually leave Angel to hold the outside, or vice versa. And this time it looks to be the dynamic duo once again, both towards outside. This time Angel going to be going aggressive as it looks like Team Spirit now going to execute quickly out towards this A site. You have got Davkos watching the push from ramp, just trying to find anything here that could kickstart this round for them. And actually they're all going to look now to turn their attention over towards ramp, with the exception of Deemer and Kabak, and watch the flank. Pushing on through, Zero's going to go big, finds two, he does exactly that, looking for a third. Davkos does sneak on by, but already the man advantage seized. Even if Zero goes down, he's done his work and then some, but he's just going to retreat back in towards the B site, maintaining this two-man advantage and not allowing them to gain any control of the B site just yet. Will buy plenty of time for the rotates as well. Even if he delays the push by a couple of seconds, there'll be enough time for these players to quickly duck in through vent. And oh, he's going to go even bigger, finds himself a third. And now there's only one player with an earshot to try and trade this out. Kabakan's still over by A. Davkos is here alone as he peeks from ramp. He's going to go down. It's all on Kabakan, who falters. Bondic will be able to pick that up. HellRaisers now with 6 rounds to their name and money fast building up. Team Spirit going to be forced into a bit of a force buy here.
Yeah, really nice round from Zero. Not only to find the first couple of kills, but as you said, just the fallback. Doesn't give them any sort of opportunity to trade him. Repositions into an angle that they then have to try and peek him once more. And that's where he shines. He has the advantage. He's not going to miss those sort of shots. Easy stuff for him. Now in this round, again, it's looking like Team Spirit. One of the ways that they're very, very good as a team is just by going explosively into a site. They want to rush straight in, and the only site you can do that on this map is the A site. You can get there within a matter of seconds. The problem is the counter nades from HellRaisers, now that they've got economy, are just making it so that they can't do this. They can't just go for the aggressive pushes. They can't catch them out of position. So it's just very, very easy now for them to just sort of get stuck. And this is sort of what we're seeing from Team Spirit at the moment. It's looking like they don't have too many more ideas. They've challenged outside an awful lot. Ramp isn't working either as they get completely decimated by Zero. And the only real thing that's been successful is being able to take Secret once or twice. And they haven't really utilized that at all. The player who's been doing it is Sophic, and he's been getting shut down.
Yeah, also the utility usage from HI towards this A site has been monumental at holding back these early pushes. Whenever they tried going for it, a well-placed nade here and there, a well-placed Molotov as well, flat out denies the fast play. Already you can see Bondic going to be lining that up over towards the hut, and that's going to severely impede this eventual rush if it does come through. Instead, it looks like it could be a fake as the wall of smoke's going to be going down here to try and allow them out through hut, but they turn their attention instead towards ramp. Zero's got to go big, and once again, he's going to be the man to do it. Going to be on 3. The trade finally comes through from Davkos, but quickly returned by Dead Fox. As now it's all on Sophic, 1v4. He's trying to sneak his way down Secret once again, but Angel's there, ready and waiting. HellRaisers find themselves their 7th. And I mean, Zero right now looks to be the man of the hour over towards ramp.
Yeah, when this map came out originally, he was very, very good at it. They have actually switched up his position a bit, but he was always very, very good towards ramp, and that was sort of the thing. It was him, and then the other player who was very, very good was Magisk. So both of them just doing their job very, very well makes it very easy for other positions on the map to be isolated. Now, in this round, once again, the T's just going for a bit of a default. They've got the AWP back onto Davkos, so he's looking to try and start, but it will actually be Coldy with the opening. Now this is where we finally get to see what Team Spirit can do with a man advantage. They've had the disadvantage almost every single time. Sophic once again will be able to take control of Seeker. Obviously with the advantage, the difference is the defense is going to be split quite thin, although Dead Fox with the AWP will be able to even up, trading Coldy, who got the first pick of the game. Demon's going to be watching the flank at least, as it looks like Bondic's going to go aggressive. A peek that doesn't need to come in and could punish them severely if he decides to go for it. Nade going to come out. We'll be able to find some damage. That's going to force Bondic back. Now, in a way, Bondic's quite lucky to have been naded there. It alerts him that Demon's watching the angle and ultimately allows him to fall on back. He does take some damage, but at least they don't lose a player unnecessarily as he retreats to safety in towards the A side. Meanwhile, Team Spirit going to be utilizing this to their full advantage, trying to grab control of outside, but they got to watch out because Dead Fox is primed and ready, watching the push down Secret. Dima just slides on through thanks to that smoke and a well-timed flash. And that's going to allow him to cross now down in towards B. Sophic is already the first man on the scene, but he's going to look to try and potentially deny the rotate through vents or just shoot on up. Try and capitalize on this positioning, but ultimately it does leave you at a pretty big advantage. Instead, going to turn his attention in towards this B site as the push looking like it's going to come underway. They've only got 20 seconds. The bomb plant has to be almost instantaneous, and Stiko being up on the rafters going to be in a great place to try and deny it. There's already so many players within earshot of the site, and Olkabak is going to find one, but the trade does come through. Trade's going back and forth. Going to be a 2-on-3 as now Bondic rotating in from A, jumps down the vent, finds the first. Sophic's going to falter, and now Dima has to try and refrag unless they want to hold on to this. And well, down goes Bondic. It's all on Zero. Man of the hour, 1v2. Going to get spied out by Dima, who will be tagged a little bit on the cross. Davkos watching it, and there we go. Down goes Zero. Team Spirit find themselves a 4th. They need to get a couple more. Yeah, early control was the big thing. They find the first pick. They're then able to push the majority of the team down Secret as well. And even with the information gathered from DevFox, the remaining 2 players weren't able to do enough to stop them going down. They actually plant the bomb with Sticker still on the site, so a little bit unfortunate that he couldn't have just found the kill. Obviously, in terms of the money on the CT side, they're absolutely fine in this round. They'll be buying back up comfortably, and the T's They are one away from just being reset back to nothing again.
Yeah, this time they turn their attention towards that side. Once again, you got the Kabakan versus Zero duel over towards ramp. Davkos will be open here, trying to spot out Angel. As you can see, they've gone for what they do usually, and Davkos actually gone aggressive over towards Secret, going to yield in that first frag. They have got Angel being the dedicated player to watch the cross outside. Now, Dead Fox can either fall on back or keep taking these engagements. He does opt just to make his way down through Secret. But having him here means that Angel instead can turn his attention over towards Heaven. And they've been playing this very fluidly. A little bit of a hole in the door there, trying to allow Stiga to find out frag, but he will fall at the hands of Dima to equalize it back into a 4-on-4. A bit of an unnecessary peek to come out there to allow that equalizing frag to come in. And now Sophic with the peek out towards ramp misses that first AWP shot. But Zero going to be counting his blessings, does just fall on back, doesn't want to re-peek that same angle, and now Kabakan's going to be left there to watch it as the bomb makes its way over towards A. Looking like an A split is going to be on the cards. As you can see, Coldy trying to secure outside, trying to open things up to try and make his way in through Mini.
Yeah, the problem at the moment is there's actually been a rotation back, so outside should be under their control. It's going to be down to DevFox to attempt to cut back in. The other thing is there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, so the T's really need to get their running shoes on. Goes to try and go back in, and there's DevFox. He peeks at the right time. Kabakan gets 2 on the entries, but it's still a 2 versus 2. There's only 10 seconds left for them to actually get this bomb down, and Zero should be well placed to actually deny both. Sotfik, he's running out of time, but just about going to get this bomb down. Molotov will be able to go through the gap, pushing him out of position, but in fact, he's got himself a smoke to deny any such thing. And now, while DevFox, he's attempting to play the mind games. He's been spotted by Sotfik, who's just going to be playing over towards the site, trying to push him back. The pistol is what he's going to use to try and get back into this round. But Sotfik with the clutch catches out DevFox, and that will be a 5th round on the board for Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, Sotfik closing out the 1v2 against all odds. Does pick up both the frags necessary with so little time left as well, but you cannot rely on individual plays to come out like that. I mean, that was down to the wire. That was the definition of a close round, one that could have very much gone either way. And they were just lucky in the fact that they did have Sotfik to rely on, who could pick that up. But they have to try and do more. We have to see a little bit more promise out of these guys. And while DevFox and Angel trying to lock down outside, this time they don't have the AWP to play around with. Not going to be going in through Squeaky as Secret, sorry, both just going to be holding the cross towards outside. And actually DevFox now making his way up in towards Hell for the quick rotate towards ramp if need be. We only see one player cross in towards Secret, and that is Sotfik once again. Kabakan facing off against Zero over here at ramp. And I think now we're going to see DevFox take up position. Zero, meanwhile, going to rotate down over towards B.
T's again. Default round, spreading out, waiting for any sort of aggression from the remaining players of the CT side. Utility still quite hefty actually on that CT side. They've still got 3 smokes, a lot of flashes. Don't have any incendiaries to actually slow down any of the pushes, which could be a little bit of a problem. And in terms of the T side, they've used a lot of utility in order to get Sotfik into his position. Now we've got to see what he can actually do with it. Now there hasn't been over rotation as of yet. Zero is going to be just waiting over towards the toxic doors, trying to hold on if they do go towards the B-side. Once again, it's very, very late. They're going to try and push in. They've got the first kill onto outside this time. Things have switched up. There's not going to be anybody holding. Sticko looking like you're going to have a lot of work to do, buddy, as they try and hold on to this site. Only 20 seconds left on the clock as they push in, and there is Sticko. Pounces with one, but Cody very quick to trade. DevFox and Bondic both stuck above. Could be in the perfect position, but actually they rotate away, and this is where Zero's waiting. He's moved out of the toxic doors. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be enough to deny the bomb plant, but that will be. DevFox catches him at the last second, and well, nothing that Cody can do other than try and hold on to his rifle, and he's not even going to manage that. Dying after the round, that's going to hurt him even more, although the rest of the team don't have any money anyway.
Yeah, just have to go for the full eco into the last round of the half, and up next. Need to try. Oh, no, I'm going to go for the force. 2 forces. Fair enough. Try and do what they can with that. I suppose they would have had very little money anyway, seeing as they have just had their economy reset. So instead of having one full save here and then a weak full buy, they're just going to opt to go for 2 forces. Well, pressure towards the side early on instead now. Looking like they might try and make something happen out towards ramp. You can already see Kabakan's here. I'm going to be up on top of Marshmallow, while Demon's actually watching the push over towards Squeaky, so they are just going to be holding passive in the early stages, trying to bide some time. bait out some utility if they can. But with this crossfire setup between Dima and Davcost, I reckon we're going to be seeing an A split on the cards. They got Sotfik trying to gain some ground towards outside. He's looking just to make a very instantaneous split in through Mini, and actually Angel's not going to be watching the angle. Here's the push coming on in. Seeker's able to get one, but Davcost is here to try and trade things out. Finds the burst, isn't going to be ready for Bondic though. He's going to try and hold down the site on his own. Angel's going to fall towards it. Oh no, he's going to find Sotfik. How did Angel survive that? And there we go. HR to find themselves a 9th in the blink of an eye. That round going to be going the way of the CT side. And now Team Spirit at the full mercy of their economic decisions, going to have to force buy once again. A little bit more utility this time to play around with, but ultimately not much.
Yeah, difficult scenario for them to try and bring this one back. Obviously, from the perspective of the CT side, this is a much better scenario overall. They're looking to get themselves 10 rounds on the board. And if they can do that, then this really hasn't been a bad start whatsoever. Angel has been one of the players dragging things forward, although we have actually seen a much better performance overall. And while in this round at least, it's looking like quite a hefty cleanup. Davcost looking to try and find something through the smoke, but ultimately they're just all being taken down. Easy cleanup in that round, and while 10-5, half done, HellRaisers looking to try and close this out on the T side.
I mean, one of your win conditions, right, was that you said you needed to see Dead Fox turning up with the AWP and Zero doing incredibly well because this used to be his map, right? Then you've got the added bonus of Angel doing incredibly well and everyone else just having a stable performance across the board. And suddenly it's looking like HR could be onto a winner here, especially when we looked over at the side of Team Spirit and we said Davcost needs to do well. Sotfik needs to continue to be just, you know, a demigod. And everyone else, I mean, Coldy was another name we mentioned. He's, you know, been doing okay. Dima's really fallen off here in their first half. Only 3 frags throughout the whole 15 rounds.
Well,
Davcost trying his hardest going to be on 13.
Coldy, though, because Coldy started strong. Like the first few rounds, a lot of it was off the back
I mean,
of
same
him.
with Sotfik, arguably, right? He was the one kind of opening things up towards outside, down in secret. And whilst he has still got, you know, 11 frags to his name, currently posting him up as second on the team. You know, that's only one more than the bottom fragger, I suppose you'd say, of HellRaisers, even though it's a very balanced scoreboard. And it did seem like he kind of teetered off. A lot of those frags came early on, but in the first couple of rounds, he had something like 6-7 frags. Since then, accomplishing very little.
Obviously, they are going on to the favoured side of the map. Again, we always talk about pistols, but this was always the sort of way that Nuke could get out of control in the sort of old days, was if you lose the T pistol, it's very, very difficult to sort of get yourself going back into that later on. So if the CT side can get themselves the pistol early, get their economy going, get Davcost on that AWP, everybody else having the utility to deny those aggressive pushes, it is going to become a much more difficult game for HellRaisers. Obviously, if it goes the other way, they're only 3 rounds away from actually winning the game when they actually start the half. So it's definitely going to be crucial to see who actually manages to pick that up. Obviously, HellRaisers did lose the first map, and then the final map is Cobble, which historically has been very, very good for HellRaisers, although they have had their struggles on it recently. And Team Spirit, this always used to be their go-to map, other than, of course, Dust 2.
Yeah, Team Spirit being one of those teams that were hit very hard by the departure of Dust 2. And you know that's been a case for a few of these kind of CIS teams. It was one of their go-to maps for a lot of them, and having it taken out of the map pool along with a couple of others has, you know, severely impeded their success. Now Team Spirit being one that's kind of broken free of that a little bit and have been faring quite well. They're going to be struggling here, but they're going to be moving on to the more favored side, like you say, and already to push towards outside. Going to be underway as HellRaisers now forced on back. 3 players were there. Going to have to retreat, do pick up the bomb. And are now going to be ducking in over towards A. You can see Stego breaking the glass on that A site, lining up just a singular smoke, knew exactly what panels he had to try and break, but Sotfik's going to go aggressive, and down goes Angel towards outside as Sotfik does take the peek out behind Red. Looks like the push going to be coming in towards Ramp. Kabakin is here. Has to retreat, though, as they're hot on his heels. Zero. These 2 players dueling over B in the first half. Not going to be different here in the second, as once again, the lifelong duel full effect. 4-on-4. The rotate already fully underway. Bonnic's going to find a quick frag out. And Sotfik, though, there's doors, windows of opportunity just going to be opening up for him. Deadbox with a quick frag out and a Coldy as well. Demon to try and deny the plant, but he has to try and land these charge shots in through the door. And Bonnic's going to be on the rotate. On the flank. Down he goes. And now it's all on Davcost. 1v4 over towards Ramp. A lot of work to do and very little time to do it in.
Yeah, doesn't have a kit. Will hit a lovely shot onto Zero, at least giving him a chance. Sticko trying to fade away. If they keep re-peeking, it's going to give him a much higher opportunity. Obviously, they still have a big advantage, but that can quickly fade. Luckily for them, Sticko is there to end the round, and that will be 11-5. Pistol going their way. No surprise to see a Force coming back up. Going to be interested to see if Dabkos actually invests or saves for the AWP like we've seen in previous rounds. And, well, if you see the buy coming in at the moment from HellRaisers, they are playing this very safe. 3 AKs. Yes, they've got a couple of UMPs in play. And actually going to switch over with DevFox because he is the man trying to make as much money as possible for that AWP. Plenty of utility. And they're going to look to try and take this round. And DevFox does invest, so he's got himself the Deeg. Dima looking very tempted to go for a little bit of aggression. Sane actually coming in for Kabaka on the other side. However, he's going to get shut down by DevFox early.
And that's already opened up ramp. Look at this push. The only kind of diamond amongst the turds is that Dima at least might be able to find one. Angel will go down. Put back into a 4-on-4. This B bomb site just run amok with HR players. And, oh yeah, so it is. But Dima's going to have himself an AK to play around with. Will be coming in for the rotate, and DevFox is there. Fake flash comes out, but ultimately doesn't work, and that's going to be the 2-on-3 secure. They might try and go for this, as Sulfik does have a scout to play around with as well. Making his way in through secret. Oh, nearly spots out a player there, but instead ducks in over towards Vent. Stiko going to be in the back line. Fast on the flank, and Sulfik not ready for it as Stiko. We're going to pick him up. Down goes Dima as well, and HellRaisers, they find themselves there 12. This is where things get very bad here for Team Spirit. They couldn't pick up that force buy. We've seen them do it, twice now, so, it definitely wasn't out of the question. Now they're going to have to just grit their teeth, go for the eco here, and that's going to allow HellRaisers to pick up a 13th. 13-5 will be the scoreline, leaving HR 3 rounds away from taking us to a third map.
Yeah, flat eco, the exact scenario that was mentioned previously if they weren't able to convert or even win the pistol round. Sulfik attempting to do some damage on the outside, but this is where HellRaisers just play things smart. They know that they have the range advantage, so why not just push aggressively outside, take a lot of map control, and then they could just clean up the remaining players later on after taking whichever site they please. Dima, the only investment currently in his hands in the P250, and it will replenish the money that was spent on it. Got Dima as well. Actually managing to retrieve that UMP, which of course plenty of money can be made if he can get a kill or two.
Yeah, right now he's just playing it around the side. Let's want to get one. That's actually bomb dropped. Going to be a bit of a threat, but being tagged down low. That nade, not going to be able to find anything, but it's Angel with a UMP of his own to pick up 3 frags there. And I think he was looking for an AK, but fell off the rafters and just ended up back with the trusty UMP. Like a boomerang, tries to get rid of it, but it always comes back. And it's going to be a 13-5 scoreline now. HR will be able to get the pistol and then convert the next 2. Something that we've actually only seen happen twice now in this matchup. So Team Spirit going to be able to barn down. Davkost going to be naked, but with an AWP. Won't have body armor. At the full mercy of any utility and aim punch. And actually isn't going to be opting to play outside. Instead, we're going to see him actually up on top of the rafters. So he does, but rotates on in. Get a full on back. Doesn't want to get caught out there. Will have a player towards outside with him to try and back him up in the form of Sulfik. And well, he's going to go down very early on. Kabak going to hold the push into B. We're going to get 1 frag, tag down low. Zero going to continue the aggression. These two just won't stop dueling. And ult down goes Kabak. And Zero going to be coming up trumps in that engagement, turning into a 3-on-4 and opening up this B site. Dima on the flank. Down goes Dima. Now it's all on Davkost. 1v4, an AWP, and a bucket full of dreams.
Yeah, a few low players. DevFox looking to challenge and take that AWP out of his hands. They're all just going to go on the hunt here. They've got absolutely nothing to lose, and well, why not? Angel will finish him off. AWP is going to be saved. Looked like Angel was almost teasing DevFox towards the end of the round, and now we're just going to have to see a mini investment. They're not actually going to go for the buy here, so they're playing for OT, which props to them for having the confidence, but they are so far behind now that they are basically saying, okay, we're going to go for a mini buy here, buy up, and then try and win 10 rounds in a row. Now, it's possible on the CT side, for sure, but not looking likely by the way they've been playing so far.
We will need to see a monster performance, but that's not out of the question just yet. 3 players towards outside for HR. We're going to be seeing the stop called in, so maybe a bit of a technical error going on. I don't know what that means, but yeah, we are going to be seeing the pause come in. I think it's going to be all good. Do you have an idea what just happened there, Tom? How fluent are you?
I don't know. I imagine somebody just had some sort of issue for a second. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be anything too problematic. We are going to see the same investment come in, so it wasn't even just a ploy to save a little bit of money or to change their minds. It was literally just something went wrong, so no problems there. The thing that always makes me laugh is if you see a stop and then the buy comes in and it's slightly different.
And it's
you just
different,
think,
yeah.
You
And you're like,
sly devils.
playing the system. But anyway, HellRaisers towards outside once again. Exact same strategy, even as 3 players here early on. Going to be going aggressive, but it's trying to come on in. But nope, there goes Davkos. Goodbye.
Stop.
His head going to be taken clean off.
We're going to try it again. This time, damage has been done. And, well, it continues to be done. Sticker's going to find another one. They have control of outside. The only player anywhere near them at the moment is Sophic with the CZ. Hasn't been able to find anything. Almost gets shot through the smoke. Actually going to be just caught in the corner. Has absolutely no idea. Just spinning around blind. And now leaves it down to just 2. Little to no damage currently being done by this CT side. And, well, looking like we are heading over to map point. Obviously, the first did go the way of that current CT side of Team Spirit, so they are still going to be fighting it over on Cobblestone. Coldie will at least be able to drop 1. 50 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is going to be making its way over towards this A site, where both players are pretty close. They're just not actually in the site, so they will be isolated, cleaned up. 1 player lost for the T side, no problems there. So much money in the bank accounts at the moment, and they've actually gone and got 8 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and it will be the final stand here for Team Spirit. They've got to try and hold on to this now. Double orb setup going to be in play. Sophic and Davkos, the 2 players carrying the long-bladed rifle into this. The sniper rifle for the side of Team Spirit. And well, we can already see nice bit of utility across the board. Good bit to try and hold back any early rushes. We have seen a lot of aggression towards outside. This time, though, it looks like A is going to be the order of the day. And already Angel just slipping